Good evening, Mayor Spennett and members of the council. I watch you folks on TV. This is the first hearing I've been here.
Give us your name.
My name is Herb Chow. I live in Clackamas County. I watch you on TV and I think to myself, and I watch all the sniping going on. And I think, as leaders, and as somebody who's a business consultant, I would have fired your butts. And I'll tell you why. You're here to represent the people. When we see you fighting, it's sort of like parents that watching their kids watching their parents fight. It's your job to keep the cohesiveness. You may not agree with Mayor Spennett. Run for his job. Take a seat. Get the people out there to vote for you. All I'm saying here is this. I hear a gentleman talking about giving up his personal computer. Are we crazy talking stuff like that and saying somehow that's open disclosure? Am I supposed to allow people into my bedroom? We have people in homeowners associations right now, right here in this county, that are overstepping because they think they have the power. I think you folks are overstepping. You may not like Mr. Spennett and Mr. Baker. You're a manager here. Your job is to work together. There's a lot of people I don't like, but I gotta work with them. You know what I mean? That's why you get paid the big bucks and I get the small ones, right? All I'm saying is you folks need, instead of coming down and trying to strip the mayor's powers because you didn't get your way, can you just see from the public side how crazy that looks? How immature? You reflect not just on yourself. You reflect on this whole city. You reflect on our whole state. There are people back in New York that hear about this stuff. I mean, this is the kind of stuff we would see in Russia where they have knockdown, drag out. At least you guys haven't done that yet. You know, so please, try to hold your professionalism. You may have a different opinion, and that's okay. But take it to the polls, put it in the front of the people. Don't make this here a little kangaroo court or a chamber. Don't try to strip the mayor's power. You can't even look possibly good when you do that. I think, is it Ledbury? I think she said something very unique. Only thing I don't agree with you on is that he's trying to work. Mr. Baker, I'm sure somewhere you're trying to work with Mr. Smith. You guys have got to work it out. You're adults. Okay? You're in response. He's won't work with you. You need to work with him. That's the end of the story. It's just you just do it. The heck with the emotions, just do it. I thank you for listening to me. I thank you thank the audience for allowing me to speak. And respectfully, Mr. Mayor Spennett, you've done a fantastic job. I could not do your job. I don't think anybody in this room could do your job.
Eileen Massover. Eileen, are you here? Okay, Eileen's not here. Mary Olson.
It wasn't a personal computer. It's a public computer.
You hear Mary?
Yes, it is. No, it's a public
Device.
device.
We have 6 minutes, so I want to really.
Ask Dan, he knows how it works. He got the public records request.
Can we have a 10 o'clock deadline, so could we not worry about that right now?
Right. Right.
We have to discuss whether we want to go further at 10 o'clock. So go ahead, Mary, and state your name. And Steve Shop, you're on deck.
My name is Mary Olson, and I am a city councilor in the city of Lake Oswego. And I could not believe what I was hearing about the city of Damascus and the city council of Damascus, so I came tonight to see for my own eyes. I am in an utter state of disbelief. I seriously am shocked at the behavior I see here tonight. This is not how a city council behaves. We have issues in Lake Oswego. Mr. Ramos can testify to that. This is beyond the pale. I don't know where to start. Why is a city council talking about office procedures? That is the city manager's responsibility. The city manager's role is to control his employees and keep politics out of City Hall. Why are you talking, Ms. Helm, about campaign signs? Why are signs for campaigns even discussed in this chamber? That is not city council business. That is a political campaign issue. That is not city council business. You are all so openly and blatantly politicizing the mayor's role during an election season. You are dysfunctional, you are disgraceful, you are despicable and disgusting. And some of you have conflicts of interest because you are running for the mayor's office to attempt this coup. I hope someone that lives in Damascus files complaints with the Government Ethics Commission against you.
That's right.
It is shocking to me that you people sit here and interrupt the mayor. The mayor is supposed to call on you. You speak out of turn, you interrupt him. Unbelievable. You all need to go to a class on how to behave as a city council. And by the way, Mr. Shannon, annexations go through the planning commission. And then they come to the city council. You sitting here making up a policy, I don't know, you people are out of control.
All right, Steve. Thank you, Mary.
I'm Steve Shop, and I live in Tualatin, Oregon. I came out here because I've been here a few times and watched what goes on, and it's gotten worse. But it's gotten worse for obvious reasons which haven't been discussed. But first I'd like to say that I met Steve Spinnett a while back, and I like Steve Spinnett, and I like his wife. Who doesn't like him, other than the people behind this coup? I mean, let's get real. Identity theft? Mr. Baker, when staff said they saw the mayor's wife doing something, how does that go from that to, you know, she could have been trying to commit identity theft? Really? Yeah. You said you were a former police officer. Well, I think that part of it is astounding. Cindy Spinnett and Steve Spinnett are so far removed from something like that. It's so preposterous that it never should have went beyond anything. It should have been laughed at. And yet you try to work all the angles you can and turn it all around and demand he apologizes. Consider the environment that was before the mayor and has been going on in all of Damascus in the many months leading up to this accusation against his wife. You know, the public votes that you all opposed. You didn't want the people voting on Metro's plan for your town, that you wanted to force upon your neighbors in your community your ideas and not let them vote. And what happened to that? The good people with the white hats, and Steve Spinnett, the mayor, and his wife, and Dan Fagley, they went out and gathered signatures and allowed a public vote. You all opposed that. They beat you by 66%. You didn't like that. I understand you were here, Mr. Baker, and I know that if you would have been here, I bet you anything that you would have had a whole different approach had you been really keen to what was going on here this whole time. But that's when their vindictive behavior began, is when you got beaten. You and your Metro buddies, you just couldn't stomach the fact that stupid voters outvoted you. How dare they stop your smart growth, your density, and the rest of the Metro plans? And then they had the gall to go out there and with another initiative and require that any other plan that you all come up with, you have to go back to them and ask them for permission. That incensed you. I could tell in the town hall I went to that some of you were just besides yourselves. How dare these people do this? And so you move forward with the sign theft. You're trying to explain away hundreds of signs being gone by, well, they're just people who were illegally placed on their property. They were simply moving them because it was appropriate to do so. Come on. Come on. They're getting hacked up and stolen. Electrical cords are being cut. People have been caught on pictures.
Time.
Thank
So
you.
anyway,
Thank you.
I'll finish up by saying that Mayor Spinnett, I think you're doing a fabulous job. And it's just like the battle in the county. just like the battle in Lake Oswego,
Point of order. Time.
Thank you, Steve.
November 6th, it'll all be done.
We have two more people. It's 10 o'clock.
I move to extend the meeting for 15 minutes.
Okay. Okay, do we have a second?
Well, it's.
I moved to extend it for 2 more.
Two more public.
I'll second
Okay,
that.
second. Do we have, okay, Councilor Western?
Aye.
We're all okay. That motion carries. So, the next person here is Ulrike Franks.
The truth.
You want me to read it then? It's a written one? Okay. Okay, one more person, Daniel Little.
A lot of pressure, haven't I? My name is Daniel Little. I live right up the street here on Mount Scott. And I just wanted to come up and talk just a brief moment on, basically as a character reference. I have a unique perspective on Steve as he's played a number of different roles in my life. I've known him for over 15 years. I first knew him as my basketball coach, 8th grade, played with his son. I've grown up watching the way he treats his family. I was then an employee of Steve, and I worked for him for 2.5 years. And I've never, ever, I don't think I've ever met a man who lives by such unyielding integrity. Never in my life. And the guy taught me everything I know about work ethic. My parents as well, where credit's due. But Steve really ingrained in me the importance of integrity in everything you do, and I watched him live it for 15 years. And a brief example, I don't know how many of you know much about his business practices, but a number of years ago there was an undercover sting operation in Portland to basically highlight the amount of illegal parts being sold to auto shops. And so these guys did an undercover sting operation where they went to, what was it, like 30 different businesses?
150.
150. And out of this 150 businesses, Steve was the only business owner who did not purchase the stolen products, and in fact, angrily threw the guy out of his office, almost called the cops on him. And if anybody's ever met Cindy for more than 5 minutes, the idea of her being a criminal mastermind doing identity fraud is just... Try not to laugh. So yeah, just as a close, I know that Steve works his politics ethics the same way he does in every other aspect of his life. His home life when no one's looking. I've been watching him for 15 years. In the way he does his business practices, he'll sacrifice money if he has to make sure that his integrity is unblemished. And I know that, he can maybe be a little difficult to work with. I worked with him for 2.5 years. But the man never, ever goes against that integrity or that decision. I think that's important, and I think that y'all are real lucky to have a mayor like that in Damascus.
We have one more, Jim McIntosh. I don't know where your form is, but come and talk to us a while.
I did turn one in. I'm Jim McIntosh. Been a resident in Damascus about 19 years, so Mayor Spinnett, council members. My request to all of you is, there are sides here. People believe one thing, another group believes another thing. And this could go on for years. Honestly, when I've come to council meetings, it's like going into a family and listening just to the children bicker and attack each other and call names. Only one person, maybe two at best, have addressed the issue of the disrespect that is shown the mayor. That's what little children do. And so what a parent would say to children that act like that, especially when they're older, is to grow up. And I hope that all of you will do that. We're all imperfect. Every one of you, we could find faults in you. We really could. You could find them in me if you look close enough, or maybe from a distance. But what I want to say is that assumptions have been made. The assumption is that there's a conspiracy. There's the assumption that Cindy Spinnett was doing something. It's all assumptions, and you know what assumptions make out of you and me. So quit that. And what if you, as the city council or the people of the staff or the employees, really did believe that Cindy Spinett was taking pictures of something she shouldn't be taking pictures of, well, let's just say that that was your true belief. What I'm wondering is if there is one of you here tonight that are adult enough to say something like this: Cindy, we really did think that you took pictures. So that's why we did what we did. But we are truly sorry for the grief that we have caused you because we were wrong.
Yes.
Can any of you publicly apologize to Cindy Spinett here tonight? Be adult enough to do that. Not one of you will apologize to her for the grief that was caused?
There's something wrong, they don't forget.
I understand, but I still think she's owed an apology by every one of you. So none of you will man up for it, okay?
Well, I think that takes care of it. This meeting's adjourned, and you guys have a wonderful evening and a safe trip home.